I started this channel with a 60-day discipline challenge for myself. I needed to see if I could finally find a way to stick to my trading rules. And yesterday I realized that I finished the 60 days. Next week, I'm going to do a full video all on the challenge, the stats, what I've learned, how I'm going to adjust my strategies, and what my goals are going to be for the next 60 days. But today I want to talk about something that I didn't expect out of this, the community that's formed here and how much that has changed my trading for the better. Reading your comments every day has made me realize how powerful this kind of accountability and shared honesty can be. I've been thinking a lot about how to turn that into something bigger, something that feels more like an actual support group for traders. And I think I've come up with something. So we'll talk about that in a minute. First, let's check out the trade I took today. Okay, so early on in the session, I felt like I wanted longs, but I just got trapped out of the longs. Nothing set up. And then near the top, I was thinking a reversal here would be good. But that was the time that I had to take my son to nursery school. So I decided I'm just going to come when I get back. I'll just see what's going on. So I watched for a bit and then I noticed that this range was forming here. And I've been talking about wanting to take a range trade. Range trades terrify me. I don't know why. They just seem like the scariest trades for me to take. But I decided that I wanted an entry around 750 here. So I was just waiting to see if it was going to find some support there. So I got in. I think my entry was around 757. Um, 23-point stop on this trade, and it had about a 33-point target, I want to say. I did move my stop up just because I wasn't as comfortable with the range trade, so I didn't want to lose 23 points on it. The trade won. It took my profit target by like 1 point, and then it fully reversed. I had the reason I didn't go for the top of the range because I think in the past when I've tried to do range trades, I've been like, okay, I'll go from the bottom to the top. But you don't know when it's going to keep going all the way to the top. So I decided I'm just going to go for a reasonable target on this, more of a scalp, even though it ended up being a pretty good winning trade, like over 30 points. So that's what happened there with the range trade. I wanted to show what the real journey looked like. I've been trading for more than 3 years now, and I'm not profitable. I finally, in the last few months since starting this, have actually got to where I'm like, not spending money on trading, and I'm actually taking a few little payouts from Take Profit Trader. But before that, I had this really bad pattern where I would be following my rules, I'd be doing well, something would set me off, I'd go on tilt, I'd blow up the account. Then after, a day or two or the same day, I'd go back, I'd look at the charts and I'd realize my strategy wasn't the problem. It was, the revenge trades, the over trading, just basically the tilt that something was setting me off. And then I was just completely losing my discipline. So the idea when I started the channel was really about the 60-day challenge. I thought I need accountability for this. This is a problem that I have, and maybe having other people judging me might help me to stick to the rules. When I was coming up with a name, I was going to call it Disciplined Degen. I knew Degen had to be in there because I was like, that trading group I started in, there was a lot of degen talk and like, oh, degen behavior. So I knew that would be in there because traders would understand that. But then I was like, what am I going to call this? And I finally came upon the idea of rehab because rehab is a lot about accepting you have a problem, committing to make a change, and then asking others for help, which is essentially what I did with the channel. So right away, the external accountability was great for my trading. If you've been here since the beginning or you've seen some of those earlier videos, I was constantly breaking my discipline rules. I was like, and the one that I was breaking all the time was the one trade a day, which is like my main rule. It's one trade a day is the main rule. And then the next, most important rule is valid setups only. And I was, mainly breaking the one trader rule, but I was also breaking the valid setups. And the accountability was great. But I think what I didn't expect and the surprise for me was in the comment section, in the encouragement, the practical advice. People give me great advice on like my strategies or different things to look at in the market. And then also the comments of just like the I've been there too, or I'm in the exact same place. I feel like I could have made that video. I didn't realize how much it would impact me hearing from other traders going through the same thing or getting advice from traders who have, been through the same thing. I think it also helps me when I'm giving advice to other traders. Oftentimes, I'm telling them to do things that I know I need to do, and it's reinforcing it in my own brain. Um, and yeah, like I think it really helps to give the advice to others as well. So I would encourage you guys in the comments to not be shy on if you see somebody, like if you read a comment where someone's expressing their frustration and something they've done, if you have some advice that you think could help them, then give them the advice because it helps them and it helps you. I'm not sure at what point the channel kind of started to feel like a support group or group therapy, but pretty early on, someone said, like, I really like the AA kind of vibes of this, where it feels like a support group for traders. Someone one day made a comment about it being a support group. I feel that he was like, it wasn't intended in a nice way, but I was like, for sure, I want this to be a support group. And I wish that there were enough traders that we could do, like AA where you have in-person weekly support groups. That would be amazing. Um, but yeah, so I have been noticing this a lot and it's been beneficial for me. So I just wanted to figure out how can I make this more of a support group, not just for me, but for everyone watching who's struggling with their discipline and wants to have more accountability and is okay kind of putting themselves out there a little bit more, to receive help from others. Okay, so obviously we are spread out all over the world and we cannot do a weekly in person support group. But I think the next best thing that I can think of to put together is to do a live stream. I know I said I would not do live streams, and I will not do live streams during trading hours, and definitely never live trading. I think that's horrible for traders to be having the influence of other people trading when they're trying to focus on their own plan and their own process. So I'm not doing that. But I'm putting it out there to you guys. Would you be interested in a weekly kind of live stream support group? The purpose would be to share our setbacks, get feedback, and build accountability. It's not like a signals class, obviously, and it's not a how to trade. If some of it goes into strategy, if there's more experienced traders that want to share some strategy stuff, then that's awesome. I would never be like, oh, I don't want to talk strategy in here because obviously, as much as we want to work on our discipline and our psychology, strategy is also important. And so I don't want to close that off. So I don't know. Let me know. Would you be, it's okay. Ugh. So I'm gonna put up a poll in I think I can put up a poll in the like community or the posts or community section on YouTube. I'll figure that out and put it in the description where I end up putting the poll. But I'm gonna do a poll. I was thinking probably between the days that I'm thinking would be either Thursday, like late afternoon, evening, or sometime on Sundays. So I'm going to give some different times. I understand we are spread out all over the place. So, um, yeah, I want to be able to include as many people as I can in this. So I'm going to do offer two different days that we can put in the poll as well as different times. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is this something that you think you can benefit from as well? Like for me, it's been great, but also like putting out 4 or 5 videos a week is actually a crazy time commitment and it's really a lot of work. I enjoy doing it, so it's not a problem, but I understand that not everyone wants to start a YouTube channel to get a trading support group. Um, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this. Would you be interested in doing this? And yeah, we'll just leave it there and I'll put the poll up for you. Let me know what you think of the idea. Let me know in the comments. And be sure if you want to be in the trading support group live streams, just go and do the poll so that I can figure out the best time to do this so that the most people can be there for it. Yeah, I hope you had a good trading day. This morning's action was kind of crazy. So I hope no one got chopped up in that. And yeah, have a good weekend. I'll see you back here Monday.